Welcome to this third and final installment of getting Atom1 software running on your ASUS router. The first video we talked about how you install the firmware on your ASUS router from Merlin. In the second video, we installed Atom1 on the USB flash drive. And in this one, we show you how to connect to the cloud so that you then have a dashboard mechanism of controlling policies and rules and devices. Let's jump right back in. So here we are on the stage 3, and I'm just going to copy and paste this first command, and we'll paste that into our terminal window, which I still have open to my ASUS router. When I paste that command, it'll come back with my box ID, and that box ID is what's relevant to me registering the account. So let's follow on to step number 2, which is to say sign up. Let's sign up here. And we'll fill this in. And I built a network, an email address of AdamNetWorks at redcop.net for this. And then we will go ahead and repeat the password and send the confirmation email. And so let's check the email now to see if it's come in. And there it is. So we've received an email that is the usual full loop of validating it. So we'll click on this link and that'll confirm that we now have an account. So let's proceed with signing in. And we'll use AdamNetWorks at redcop.net with the password that I created on the sign up sheet. And there we go. We are now logged in with the final step of providing that box ID from this terminal window. So I'm going to simply copy and paste that box ID. And then I'm going to specify that this is my home lab, and then the name and email that I want to be tied to the billing and a dashboard access account. We choose add here, and the billing may be none. It may be a different plan, but regardless, there is going to be a point of contact. So what we'll do now is we will wait for this router to connect. In most cases, you will see it here as having been offline or not yet seen, and that's what's showing you here, that we've not yet seen your router. And if we click on the router section, this area will populate the moment that the router does successfully connect. So let's take a look and first see if we still have access to the internet. And I'll quickly check to see what my gateway is. Let's see. Do I have access to the internet? I do. And I can access upstream DNS and everything is working. Okay, so let's just do a service restart. This is also part of the knowledge base article. If you ever need to restart the Atom1 service, you can always run this command where you're launching the Atom1 script and then you're doing a stop if you want to stop Atom1, in which case the DNS mask that is built into ASUS gets restarted automatically. But if I want to start again, then you'll see it's the opposite. DNS mask gets disabled along with the other tasks that go with it. All right, let's take a look and see if we are now online. And now it shows that the status is online. And if I refresh here, it will now populate the router section of the dashboard to show that it's running ASUS WRT. It includes the model number of your router, the version of the Merlin firmware, and the version of Atom1 software, which is 4.5.3 at the time of the recording of this video. And there you go. That is the basics of getting your dashboard account. Now you can utilize the user guide, the online manual for next steps. But just before I let you go, I'm going to show you one cool thing about DNS Harmony. So when you go to your policies, and you see the default right now is a basic blacklist, which is this whole idea that everything's allowed in terms of internet access, except what ends up being in any one of these blacklists. So you can turn these off and on as you like, but you can also change the default treatment here to now use DNS Harmony. When you use DNS Harmony, you can now specify different services that you want to harmonize. So for example, we find that 1.1.1.3, which is branded as Quad 1 for families, is very effective. AdGuard is extremely effective for having third-party ad networks blocked, as is the clean browsing security filter, as is Quad 9. So what I would do in this case, I would possibly not use OpenDNS anymore and say that my primary forwarder is Quad 1 for families, but I want you to investigate every destination that my devices try to go to against a blacklist provided by any one of these 4 services, and save that. Now you'll see that your default treatment is DNS Harmony, and so every one of your DNS queries gets checked against these 4 different threat intelligence providers instead of just a single one. So there you have it. You have a very simple setup. You have this as your default policy, which basically means that any device that joins your network will automatically be treated with whatever policy here is your default one. Enjoy.